Hello everyone and welcome to 23rd episode of Personal Development Training Series. My name is Mohammad Reza Fati and I'm a life coach. What we do in life echoes in eternity. I guarantee you that your life is going to be divided to two parts, before and after personal development training. This episode is about when strengths of ours start to work against us. Let's begin with something simple, something almost all of us can relate to without much effort. Every one of us has at least one quality we genuinely feel proud of. It's a trait we believe helped us move forward in life. It's the reason people trust us. It's the part of ourselves that make us say, I'm someone others can rely on. But today's question is not about identifying that strength. The real question is this: has that same strength ever quietly hurt you? Let's explore this step by step. Responsibility that slowly turns into burnout. To understand how this happens, we first need to define what we mean by responsibility. Being responsible means noticing unfinished work and feeling internally committed to handle it. When something needs to be done, you can't ignore it. You don't. You step up. And because of that, responsibility is a trait that society openly rewards. Families admire it, employers promote it, and friends depend on it. However, the shift begins when responsibility crosses the boundary of balance. What was once healthy commitment gradually becomes carrying more than your share of everyone else's weight. Imagine this clearly. It's 6 p.m. at work and people are closing their laptops, getting ready to leave. Just as everyone is about to walk out, your manager says, "This project needs to be finished tonight." The room becomes quiet. A few coworkers avoid eye contact. Someone casually mentions they'll come in early tomorrow. And then there's you. You stay. Inside your mind, a conversation unfolds almost automatically. If I don't do it, who will? I don't want them to think that I'm unreliable. It's just tonight. But this just tonight slowly becomes once a week, 10 times a month. And 3 months later, something has changed. You're now exhausted, your patience is thinner, yet you're still smiling, still saying it's fine. And beneath that surface, another layer of thoughts appear. Why is it always me? Why doesn't anyone else step up? If I say no, will it damage how they see me? At the same time, a deeper voice answers back. You've always been the strong one. You're the one who holds things together. If you don't carry it, everything falls apart. So you stay again and again and again. In the short term, you're praised. Even your confidence grows. You're dependable and valued. In the midterm, expectations rise. Others unconsciously step back because they know you'll step forward. And in the long term, burnout steps in. Quiet resentment builds. There is this subtle but growing sense of being unseen. No one cares about you being tired. What once lifted you up now slowly works against you. Not because responsibility is wrong or a bad thing, but because it was never adjusted. And often, this pattern didn't begin in the workplace. Maybe as a child, you were praised when you handled things maturely. Maybe being strong protected you from criticism. Maybe you learned that being lovable means being useful. Over time, responsibility stopped being just as a behavior. It became a part of who you are and who you should be. And that's exactly why putting it down feels so difficult. Next strength that we're going to talk about is kindness. A kindness that slowly becomes self-neglect. Now, let's move to another strength, one that many people deeply identify with: kindness. Kindness means noticing someone else's needs and choosing to respond. It's a very good thing. It means offering support when someone is struggling. Everyone likes it. Even you expect it from other people. And there's something undeniably beautiful about it. But when kindness exists without boundaries, something subtle begins to happen. You slowly remove yourself from the equation. Picture this situation. A friend calls you, a very normal call, type of call we all get. They're upset, they have a problem. You had your own plans. You wanted to play some video games, you wanted to have some sleep because your week was already overwhelming. You're tired. But still, you say, of course, come over, let's talk on the phone. You listen for hours, you comfort them, you give thoughtful advice. When it's over and the house becomes quiet again, you feel drained. The silence feels heavier than before. You tell yourself, it's okay. My friend or they feel better. Inside your thoughts, a familiar script plays. If I'm not there, who will help them? Don't be selfish. You've been always the supportive one. What rarely appears is a different question. Who supports me? In the short term, you're seen as caring, emotionally safe. You're the coach, you're the supportive, you're the safety net. In the midterm, people begin to assume you'll always be available. And on the long run, you feel emptied out. You feel that you've been used. Sometimes resentment appears towards people that you love, and they love you back, followed quickly by guilt for everyone feeling that resentment. Your kindness is real, it's sincere, but without limits, it slowly turns inward and begins to cost you. Next strength that we're going to talk about is confidence, a confidence that turns against us. That's one more strength that deserves attention. Confidence means trusting your abilities. It means thinking clearly, speaking decisively, and acting with power and certainty. But imagine a family discussion about an important decision. You analyze the situation, you offer a solution, you move through, you speak firmly and with clarity. Everything is okay. But someone begins to disagree. Again, your confidence plays. You explain why their reasoning and opinion just don't hold up, doesn't make sense. The room becomes quiet because you were serious, like always. But the quiet isn't necessarily agreement. It may be withdrawal. In your mind, the justification sounds reasonable. Of course I'm right. You don't know. I know. I'm just being logical. Why is everyone so sensitive? I'm just trying to help. And yet, behind that silence, someone may feel dismissed. In the short term, decisions are made efficiently. In the midterm, fewer disagreements are listened and heard. On the long run, emotional distance grows because everyone knows if they tell you something, you have a solution. You will stop them. You will not listen. There is this confidence that quickly destroys flexibility and turns into dominance. Not because you meant to overpower anyone, but because listening quietly disappeared from the process. Now, we need that moment of awareness. Up to this point, we've simply observed ourselves, our patterns, without judgment, without blaming. It's all okay. So, how can you recognize when a strength is starting to work against you rather than for you? There are usually three signs that appear together. First, a repeating pattern of tension or conflict. Second, ongoing hidden exhaustion or quiet resentment. And third, a gradual emotional distance forming in relationships. Sound familiar? When these three show up around a specific strength, it's not a signal to erase it. You don't want to put your weapon down. It's a signal to adjust it. You can have your sword, but you need to learn how to use it. So, now we reach to adjustment. Adjustment doesn't mean abandoning who you are. It means regulating. It means you should know when to use it, where to use it, and how intensely use it. Your strength is okay. You, as a leader, should hold that sword in the right way. Responsibility might require saying, "Not this time. Put your sword down." Kindness might require setting clear, respectful boundaries. "Not this time. You should be able to say no." Confidence might require listening before responding. See, we didn't remove this strength. At first, adjustment feels uncomfortable. Guilt often appears. It can feel like you're betraying a version of yourself that kept you safe for years. But that discomfort is not retreat, is not regression, it's not reducing yourself. It's growth. It's actual personal growth. It's not using your weapon against anybody, especially the people that you love. Now we reach transformation. As you practice adjustment consistently, your strength doesn't disappear. It matures, it evolves. Responsibility evolves into healthy leadership. See the difference? Kindness transforms into balanced connection. Confidence becomes authority grounded in respect. Imagine someone who is confident but disrespects you. Do you like that? So you're still the same person. The core hasn't changed yet. What has changed is the balance. The balance that you have between all variables in your life. Your strength, other people's morals, and the society. And stabilization, finally. This is where the new behavior must be repeated. In real situation, not once, not twice, consistently. Especially when it feels difficult. Especially when you want to abandon your mother. When it's easy, it's not that hard. Each time you choose to adjust a version of yourself that is using that strength, it's hard, it becomes difficult. But you need to know you are reinforcing a healthier pattern. And over time, that pattern becomes natural. Final thoughts. Your strength is not your enemy. But when left unexamined and unregulated, it can slowly begin to work against you. So, growth means learning the difference between using that strength or overusing it. And that awareness is where personal maturity truly begins. What we do in life echoes in eternity.